Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hello, everyone, and how are you today? I hope everyone can hear me, but just let me type it in. Can you hear me? And welcome to Tracy After Dark. The reason why this segment is called After Dark is because I don't know what we're going to be discussing actually. Um, we are going to be discussing a lot of magical things, that's for sure. Okay, great. Thank you, Nikki. So I just want to say hi to everyone that I see here. Okay. Hi, Nikki. Good health. Sophia, Juanita, Stephen, Sarah, Kira, Lisa D. Good health to everyone. And thank you for tuning in. I'm not on Blog Talk Radio today because my phone is broken. I do not have a phone. That is crazy to me. I have never been without a phone since the beginning of cell phones starting. You know what's weird though? I'm enjoying the break. I am just loving being in my own space, inside my own head. Like I told my assistant, because the phone had to be delivered to him and his wife's house, and he died for me. He's like, "Oh my God, Tracy, I can't imagine being without a phone." And he took it so personally. I didn't want to tell him I'm fine. Something about changing your life over, meaning changing your life over seriously, has led me to understand that I'm no longer on the grid, right? And by not participating on the grid, remember I came from California where gas prices was always high. Y'all are complaining about it right now. We always had high gas prices. If y'all are $5.99 right now, we are at $7.99 in California, right? So I come from a place where gas was always high, road rage was big, traffic was every damn day. Every day. A 20-minute ride across California from one town to the next could take you an hour and a half. It was mortifying living this way. And so just taking myself off the grid but acting normal, not having my phone helped me to realize you are really off the grid right now because I don't care to participate in the race that was getting out of control. I don't know about you guys. I loved when COVID had us on lockdown. I loved it because it made us all rethink about our family, our health, our marriages, our jobs, and a lot of people made changes. I mean, there was a lot of divorces, but maybe that's even a good thing because we weren't operating, we were robots. And it allowed us to sit back, look at our lives, and make better decisions. So if you survived COVID and you're here tonight, sit back and let's try and help you to continue to survive COVID because in California, it's getting bad again, and they might have to go back to some lockdown measures that I know that they don't want. But COVID is getting out of control again. All right? So the animals were free. Even Nina, there's a movie that I saw. I'll put it in the link. Um, that really showed all the animals all over the world taking their land back. They were just so happy to not have us be around. It's a beautiful thing, COVID. So, in a weird kind of way, we have to thank COVID for showing up. I know what I'm saying can be hurtful because so many people lost lives during the COVID. I know what I'm saying is hurtful, and I'm sorry if any of you had any lives lost. But let's look at some of the reasons why we did have a life loss, right? Some of those reasons was healthcare, like real healthcare, like exercising, like walking, right? Like sleeping, right? Like not carrying stresses you can't control, or believing that another day will bring hope. I can't worry about it today. It's 9 o'clock at night. I'm going to go to bed and hopefully tomorrow will be better for me. I remember there was a period when I moved to the Caribbean, and there my sister, my mentally challenged sister, had um, went out of mental whack. And I was so worried. I was so concerned. It was 9 o'clock at night for me over here, but it was earlier over there. But it was seriously, it was out of my control. So the only thing I could do was pray. And I prayed to her parents, right? My mom, my dad. But I said to them, this is your daughter. You guys work this out. Make her calm down. Like, she's not going to get her way today or any other day. So get inside her spirit and talk to her, right? All I can tell you is the next day I called my sister and I waited till 3 o'clock Eastern. It's around 11 o'clock there. This woman had no memory of the night before. So when I tell you stressing over something, that this was severe, my sister's full meltdown, it could have meant that she could have wound up in a 5150. But I said, if she winds up in a 5150, she's still in a safe place. So even then, I didn't worry. But I prayed on it. I gave it to my parents. I don't know what the spirit world did, but the spirit world took care of it. This woman, to this day, has no memory of the meltdown. I had no control on her going left or right. The only thing I had control of was my prayer. And the only other thing I have control of is getting some sleep to deal with the problem the next morning. So, what we're going to talk about first is exercising and sleep. And then we're going to talk about some consistent teas. The teas that I'm telling you to make, in the Caribbean we call it bush tea, but I want you to create your own bush tea. Like, create a tea over there in the 50 states. So, one of the things that I use consistently is green tea. Green tea is an antioxidant, and it's also a diuretic, and also gets rid of little things that could be brewing inside your body. It washes it out for you. So, green tea. Now, when you use green tea, it's not one little tea bag. That's not the way green tea works unless you're in a Chinese restaurant with a tiny, tiny little bowl. If you notice, tiny, tiny little bowl. So if you're making a big tiny, tiny little cup. So if you're making a big pot of quote unquote bush tea, which is what the Caribbean calls a mishmash of teas, um, one tea bag is not going to work. 5 will do wonders. The good thing about green tea is that the more you put in, it doesn't taste stronger. But you will multiply the properties of green tea if you put in 3 or more. Turmeric. And I have something to show you. So let me add it to my picture, video clips. Hold on, photo. Add, okay. I'm going to show you guys some of the diseases of the stuff that I'm talking about right here. Turmeric. Turmeric is good for SARS. SARS is coronavirus. Also for herpes, hepatitis C, HIV. There is a correlation to airborne HIV, guys. Even though they're giving you the information, they're not giving you the information. If you happen to catch it, but then they're not saying it out loud, right? COVID has a component, and I'm not a doctor, so nothing I say is permanent or etched in gold. Take it with a grain of salt, and yet drink these teas. There is a component of airborne HIV COVID. Okay? So let's start using some teas that will work on those properties. Turmeric works with hepatitis, HIV, and other types of viruses, right? Garlic. Garlic is an important ingredient in making your tea. Not garlic powder, the whole of the garlic. You don't need to chop it up, but I do like to take 1 clove, and that's it. And I like to slice it, not cut it up. Just open it, just crack open the garlic, but not chop it up, and I throw it in with my teas. Garlic helps with herpes, influenza, again, HIV. So now we've got 2 things, turmeric and garlic, that will help with airborne HIV COVID. All right? Ginger. Ginger helps with herpes, influenza, and SARS COVID-2. All right? SARS is COVID. Black pepper. In order for turmeric to work, a dash of black pepper needs to be added to your tea. I know this sounds crazy, everyone. Who puts black pepper in tea? We do. So black pepper, if you put in turmeric, you must add black pepper because it activates the turmeric. Black pepper helps with hepatitis. I don't know what this coxsackie, I don't know what that is. Ebola virus and Duncan virus. But I'm mentioning a couple that helps with herpes or hepatitis. Neem. Neem is probably a new plant to some of you. You can get neem in Amazon. You can get the powder. You can get the leaves. If you're doing the teas, then make it consistent, or else you're going to wind up having a green powder-looking tea. If you're making a smoothie, then get the powder. But if you're making a tea, go ahead and be consistent and get the neem leaves. Neem helps with polio, dengue, hepatitis B and C, influenza, and SARS again. So far for SARS, which is COVID, we have neem, we have ginger, and then that's it for right now. Neem and ginger to help with SARS COVID, which is what we're trying to prevent. Um, as a side note, every morning when I drink my coffee, I add cinnamon and clove. First of all, cinnamon sweetens my coffee, adds an extra little sweetness to it. Second of all, uh, clove and cinnamon, the combination is so aromatic. So, cinnamon, as a side note, I don't put cinnamon in my tea. I put it in my morning coffee because it just matches. For me, it matches the coloring, right? So, cinnamon helps with SARS, also helps with human respiratory viruses, and avian influenza virus. It's called the bird flu. Clove helps with herpes, influenza, the flu again, and feline virus, which I thought the feline virus was, what's the feline? I don't know if it's feline flu or feline COVID. All right. Now, there are other things listed here that I do not put in my tea. I do not put basil in my tea. However, once a week, I am making basil in a bowl of water with fresh chicken. So I'm making my own version of chicken soup. I do not add noodles because I'm not allowed to have pasta. It has too much carb. So it's more broth. So I put in basil, I put in thyme, I put in oregano, I put bay leaf. So if you notice, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm making my version of bush tea. Then I'm making soup once a week. If you're sick right now, get the tea rolling. I don't care if it's 100 degrees outside. Get that soup in there and get the different properties, and you're going to get everything inside your system that will help with COVID. So if you're sick right now, or if you're recovering from COVID, do this so that you don't wind up with long COVID. All right? So when I make my soup, I put oregano, thyme, bay leaves, um, chicken of any type, chicken legs, chicken breast, it doesn't really matter. Garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, seasoning it with salt for taste. I'm trying to think of what else I'm forgetting. Um, I think that's it. Thyme, oregano. Oh, I add sage as well. Sage is something, sage adds, it's very medicinal, but it also adds a little extra spice to the soup. All right? So let's go over the teas one more time. Green tea, 3 to 5 bags, turmeric, a whole clove of garlic. Just slice the center just a little bit so that the flavor from the inside is automatically potent. I didn't mention ginger, or did I? Ginger, yes, I did. Also helps with COVID. Ginger, I prefer fresh ginger, but you can use powdered ginger. Just be careful. Powdered ginger can be very, very potent. If you put too much, you've got a spicy ginger that's attacking your throat. So be mindful of how much ginger you put in. But if you use the fresh ginger, you don't taste the spice the same way. Um, Turmeric, I mentioned already. Black pepper, neem might be new to you, so check it out on Amazon. In addition to that, I put something called cat's claw in. Lemongrass is my favorite. I love lemongrass. Um, Rosemary is mandatory. It is part of the components that works together with thyme and oregano, and these are all herbs, everyone. And then I get dandelion tea in a box. What I'm mentioning to you today, guys, are herbs. They're herbs. If you're suffering from COVID right now, I would suggest, I'm not a doctor, but for right now, I would suggest oregano. I would also should suggest 3,000 milligrams to attack any infection that will lay dormant. All right? Oregano fights bacteria, cleans the lungs, gets inside your small intestines, helps with any fungal infection, and a lot of people have fungal infections and they don't know it. It's also an antioxidant. It heals wounds, so you can rub it on a body for any wounds. Also repels insects and relieves pain. However, large amounts can hurt your stomach. Now, I was able to use oregano 3,000 milligrams, or I think it's called MCG, for a while. After a while, I had to remove the 3,000 milligrams. It was way too strong for my stomach. And now I've just switched over to just the herb and putting it in my tea. But oregano helps to reduce phlegm and acts as an expert and loosens up mucus and builds up in your sinuses and your respiratory tract. Thyme, you can also get thyme in an oil. Once again, I prefer thyme in my soup and tea fresh. I'm not crazy about the oils. I cook with it. I put it in my soups, my teas. I also put thyme and oregano in my chicken. If I'm baking a whole chicken, I'm putting the herbs um, in the breast of the chicken and then on top of the chicken after I've seasoned the herbs the way I want it. Then I put the string of thymes and oregano. But thyme is good for your immune support, potassium, manganese for bone development. It helps with bacterial, also fungal infections. Also helps relieve coughing. It's an antioxidant. It helps with your cough, your colic, also helps with arthritis, and helps with any parasites that might be in your body. It helps with influenza, HIV, SARS, COVID. It is an anti inflammatory. It gets rid of bacterial infections. It's also a diuretic, natural diuretic, and will also help with electrolyte levels. All right. Now, bush tea is a combination of the teas in the land of the Caribbean. And let me tell you something. The first thing I learned when I got here was bush tea. You want some bush tea? What's bush tea, ma'am? Oh, a whole bunch of herbs. They don't really explain it well. No one would tell me what bush tea is. Um, but I tried it and I didn't get it. What I can tell you guys is that their version, which is now the official beverage of the Virgin Islands, is bush tea. When I tell you bush tea, bush tea, bush tea, please listen to me. Bush tea is a whole thing here. In the Caribbean, in the Virgin Islands, it is now our official drink. So, for the most part, you have rooibos, cerasee, holy basil, mint, rosemary, lemongrass, soursop, and as of lately, moringa is making an appearance here. I don't know if I'm leaving anything out for all my Caribbean people. Jamaicans might have something more in their land that they're adding to their bush tea, but we kind of survived COVID a little better because of the teas. We got COVID, right? We were in lockdown in the Caribbean, all of us. But the constant intake of this bush tea made a big difference in deaths. So, you all might want to create your own version of bush tea. It doesn't have to be everything that I mentioned, right? But some components should show up for you, right? And not making the tea is probably the worst thing you could do in this COVID experience that we're in. So, for me personally, sour sop sometimes is too soury. So, I've learned to use sour sop dipping it, not brewing it. Lemongrass, I love lemongrass. I'll put 2 and 3 bags of lemongrass in. Rosemary, I use fresh rosemary. All right. There's a bag that I get that has mint green tea. I like that particular brand of tea. I can't always find it. So, what did I do? I went out and got my own mint plant that I'm growing to add to my teas. Holy basil is another plant. These are all very healthy. So that's the bush combination, bush tea. Rooibos, cerasee, holy basil, mint, rosemary, lemongrass, soursop, and the newest that's being added is moringa. I'm going to go over this one more time. For green tea, for COVID tea, you can add any of the bush teas, right? Especially if you can find them. Sometimes you can find them in Spanish stores. They have an alternate variety of substances that the main stores do not have. You can sometimes find things in Asian stores and Spanish stores, all right? Especially like the soursop, all right? Um, but I'll go over it one more time. And all of this you can get on Amazon. So again, green tea is mandated. Also, green tea is not only an antioxidant, but it's also a diuretic. So it really takes a lot of infections that's brewing inside your body. By the way, I make the tea. I keep it in my refrigerator, like you would keep Kool-Aid in your refrigerator. I keep it in my refrigerator. And because I like the teas to work overnight, I take the tea just before I go to bed. Sweeten it to choice. Remember, sugar is not your friend. So don't sweeten it like Kool-Aid. Just sweeten it to lightly taste the sweetness so you're not taking on herbal teas that just taste nasty. No one wants you to suffer. All right? Tea is fine. And for me personally, I use Splendor, but I know people are going to have something to say about that. But I just happen to like Splendor. I'm not a sugar person. What else, guys? Any sweetener, any sweetener. But enjoy the tea. This is not, we're not asking you to make we. Who are we? No one's asking you to make tea and suffer. All right? Enjoy it. I drink the tea at night. It's nice and hot right now, so I drink it like you would drink Lipton iced tea. So I drink a nice cold cup of tea before I go to bed. In addition to that, everyone, I keep water by my bedside. Don't forget, water is a cure-all. All right? Let me see what everybody's saying. Also, oregano oil. Golden seal and echinacea combined are very powerful. This is true, Sin W. The reason why I don't mention golden seal and echinacea is because if you have a heart problem, it does not work with your heart or high blood pressure. So if you're going to use golden seal and echinacea, you gotta talk to your doctor. All right, but we can't put beets in teas, right? You can put beets in a smoothie, but not in a tea. Honey, of course, yes. Oh, Sin W loves thyme. Hi, Tay Bucks. Let's stay on topic, Nina Love. Let's just only talk about the teas. Love Virgo says they are saying yes. Love Virgo says the newest thing that we have heard, which is bits and pieces of information that's not coming across the main channel. So how you heard about it, Love Virgo, is probably the same way I heard about it. They are saying it's like airborne HIV because C, I hope C means COVID, weakens the immune system so bad that it opens doors for other illnesses and very similar symptoms on the onset. I agree, in the onset. I agree. So that's why we have to attack COVID's ability to break us down. And that's what these herbs will do. There's a herb in this world for every single issue. It comes down to knowledge and it comes down to research. And all you have to do is say, what herb cures cancer? And the herbs will show up. I'm not saying you'll get cured of cancer. I'm saying there's an herb here for everything. All right? One of my, one of the people here has been living with AIDS for 10 years. You know what he does? He makes a neem smoothie every single morning. He still lives. So y'all might want to look up some neem and stop this airborne HIV from invading your system. Okay? Yeah, I know, sweetie, you're not getting my notifications because I tend to ram a certain cultural of people and YouTube doesn't like it, but it's okay. Hi, B Red. Ola from Arizona. Oh, okay. Let me see what else I need to talk about. Hold on a second. I think that's it for the teas. If I have to come back and do this again, if you guys remember the whole time we were in the COVID, I would do video after video after video. Oh, I know what I'm leaving out. I'm leaving out bromelain. Bromelain. Bromelain is found in pineapple. First, make sure you are not allergic to pineapple. I know people that are allergic to pineapple. So bromelain is another component. Bromelain is the core of the pineapple, the center of the pineapple. So you guys know that here's the weird thing with how the system works against us. You know, when you get the pineapple in a can, the center's cut out. It's that part that you actually need. That part that they cut out and sell to you, and you get a pineapple with a hole in the center, the most important part in the pineapple is the part that you're not getting. The bromelain is in the center. So, aren't we in pineapple season right now? right? I think we're in pineapple season. Get your pineapple and just quercetin. Quercetin. Is quercetin the product or is quercetin the herb? Um, in any case, cut out the center and you only need a little piece. Don't drive yourself crazy. A little piece. But because you can save bromelain, cut out the center of the whole of the pineapple and freeze it for every time you make the tea. Now remember, you don't need everything that I said all at once. You just need to start getting some of these teas in, especially if you're trying to get rid of the COVID right now. Okay? All right, I hope this helped. Now we're going to move on to the spiritual hour. Some people like to call it the witch's hour. Some people like to call it the devil's hour. My God, people, if you use words like witches and devil, I'm scared as shit then. Now I don't even want to go to bed. Not if I'm going to wake up between 3 and 5 and that shit is supposed to scare me. Nothing is put on this world to scare you. Nothing. So I was talking about it today and I was like, oh, I hate using the word witching hour. And one of my peeps on YouTube, Kenneth, was like, the spiritual hour. Bingo! Ah! And the clouds parted and the angels showed up. That's the best recoining of what I am going to be talking about. The witching hour is now called the spiritual hours. So, the spiritual hours is usually between 3 and 5. Sometimes it can begin at 12 midnight. For the most part, it's between 3 and 5. It starts out with you having a wake up call. So you know how you have your alarm that gets you up at 5:30, 6, some people 4:30. Right, Jay? There's a much better name for it. This is your wake up call. So we tend to wake up around the same time every time. 333, 413. It's always around the same time. I'm attracted to 511 or 515. I will wake up at those times. Triple numbers are also a wake up call. So once you begin to wake up at 333, right? The first time you're going to be like, oh my God, who wakes up at 3:30 in the morning? But then it happens again. And you're like, wait, what? And then you go to the supermarket and the receipt says 333. And you're like, what? Repetitive numbers are your wake up call. It usually starts in the middle of the night during the spiritual hour, and the same numbers constantly show up. So in your case, it might be 222. Our favorite in the spiritual world is 111. And we all go, make a wish, make a wish. 111 showed up. You're going to notice that when you go to check the clock at work, it's going to be the triple numbers 111, 222, 333, 444. And you're going to be like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? But you're going to want to talk to your neighbor at work. And you're going to be like, do you ever see triple numbers? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. They don't have the wake up call, sweetie. You got the wake up call. They're going to be like, no. You okay, girl? Yeah, of course I am. It's just that, never mind. And then y'all all go together to eat lunch. And what does your bill say? $33.30? And you're going to be like, my God, that's what I was trying to tell you, the triple numbers. And you're going to be like, I don't know if I have anybody to talk to about this. Usually, your wake up call comes at a point when, or 11:11. Thank you, sweetie. Tay Bucks. Your wake up call comes at a point where you're already beginning to isolate yourself and you don't go out as much, right? That's not fun anymore, right? You don't get drunk as much. That's not fun anymore. You're noticing that your friends that you normally would hang around with are a bunch of mean girls. And you're like, I don't know if I find that funny. Oh, you're just no fun anymore. Okay. Um, you don't know how to identify that you're changing. You don't want to call them out their face because you used to be like that. So you don't know why you're acting different. But now it becomes easier to stay home and not hang out Friday nights, not look forward to a drunken another Saturday at the club. Girl, we getting together. You coming? Oh my God. No, I'm not. You start lying, right? Because you're beginning to learn that you just like your quiet time. You kind of like being alone. The change occurs in that way first, right? You know, the family doesn't see you that much anymore. You're acting different, but you don't know why. But when you begin to act different and become singular in your spirit, that's when your spirit guides will always around you, hanging out on the sofa with you, I promise you, hanging around at your kitchen table. That's when they can do their magic. That's when they show you double numbers. That's the wake up call. It usually begins in the middle of the night. Spirit is trying to get your attention through your soul. But you would have already been transforming. Sometimes this transformation is confusing and it's sad and it's lonely. And then you begin to have these wake up calls during the spiritual hour. And because you've already isolated yourself from everyone, because they're thinking, like, oh, she's acting weird, you can't even go back to family and be like, I think I'm seeing some weird shit. They're going to call a 5150 on you because they haven't had their wake up calls. And some people never have it. And are you special with the wake up call? Hell yeah. Yes, you're special. But you were always special. They were waiting for you to catch up. All right? But your highest self is reaching out to you because you're having an upgrade in your human experience. And in this upgrade, you're learning to have an upgrade of joy, an upgrade of deeper truths, an upgrade of passion. And it's no longer about things that can lower you, like alcohol or drugs. Now you look for an upgrade in your visuals, right? Now you're looking at frequencies and mantras, and you don't even know why you like this stuff, but all of a sudden you upgrade and you start shifting over. You're upgrading your authentic self, the real person that you were always meant to be in this world. You're upgrading your whole life. And it can be scary and it can be challenging. And let me tell you something, I have a group every Wednesday we get together, and still, this group that is very, very spiritual, understanding all of this stuff, anything I'm saying is not new to them. And still, we had someone saying in the group, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. And this is one of the most gifted people in the group. And yet, it's a new shift that's developing inside of her. And she's like, I'm seeing, like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And we do readings every Wednesday, and so everyone read the energy that's around her. So you could be highly gifted and still, it could still be scary and it could still be challenging. Your belief system will be augmented. You want scary? Try not believing in the same religious ideology you were raised in. And try telling your family members, I'm kind of feeling a little different about this, that, and the third in religion. You're going to have an argument with these people because all they know is what was fed inside of them, and they refuse to learn anything different. Spirituality is too different for some people, but it's okay to shift from what you learn structurally in religion and incorporate new things. Notice I'm not taking religion from you. I was born and raised Catholic. You know, to this day, when I pass a Catholic church, I get this warm, fuzzy feeling inside of me. Seriously. With all the bad things I know about Catholic priests, I still get a warm, fuzzy feeling about a Catholic church, even though I will never step inside of a church ever again, not even in death, unless my family hates me so much they have my funeral in a church. I have my funeral at the cemetery. I don't care. I never want to step foot in front of a church again. By the way, it has nothing to do with the church. It has to do with the structure and the control and the order of miserable, miserable leaders. That's what I fear. It is not the church. I fear the ugly. And it takes a lot for a leader to be best. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for you to be best. Imagine someone that has to lead a group and they're human like everybody else. Do you understand what I'm saying? It takes a lot for you to reorganize your life. But that's just me. I never will walk in a church ever again. But your belief system will be augmented. Money will show up unexpectedly. Annoying coins, I promise you. You're going to get in your car, never having change on you. I never keep change on me. That's what you're going to say. And you will find a dime next to your car as you're getting in, at the foot by the brakes. You're like, what the hell? And then you're gonna say, oh, maybe it was the kid that I had in the car. Maybe it was the person I drove home. That's how spirit gets in there in a sneaky kind of way. The minute they realize, okay, here's something different that's happening. Let's get that dime in there. Dimes are always grandma energy, guys. Always, always grandma energies. But you guys don't like to pick up pennies because pennies have no value. But pennies always represent spiritual energy. You don't have to pick them up, but just acknowledge it, right? Just be like, oh my God, spirit, pennies, I guess they're for me. You don't have to pick them up. I pick up every damn penny. I don't care. I look pathetic picking up pennies in the street. Always have. Birds will begin to show up, and the oddest of little birds. Butterflies will begin to show up. All of a sudden, you see butterflies. Butterflies are always around, but you're beginning to see them. rainbows, signs. I can't even tell you the signs. I remember when I needed an association with my mother. She had already passed over, and she was born on 12/7, but I always associate the number 7 with Jesus. So I spoke to Spirit. I said, Mom, you can't have 7. I think 7 is with Jesus. Show me another number. 511 kept showing up. And I didn't see it for what it is. Every time I turned around, 511, 511, 511. Until I added it up and I was like, Mom? Now, my dad's number has always been 515. That's his birthday. And then when they're together, they're any combination of 1155, 5151, 1515. Sometimes 1155, I go to look at my phone, it's 1155, and I know that they're together. Or answering a question. Sometimes I'll have a question about my sister, right? And some little guilt that's going on inside of me, and 1155 will show up. And I know that that means you stop worrying. We got this. Because they're showing up together. Most times 515 shows up. And I post it because we have a group feed. I don't even think the group feed know why I post the same numbers. I will always post 515 and 511 constantly. Yes, we talked about brown doves the other day in crew. Yes, Sophia, you remember. So the brown doves never showed itself to me. I was feeding the common birds in my neighborhood in California, right? Including the hummingbirds, right? And I would feed them on a flat bed that was hanging from my terrace. And when it was time for me to come on vacation, let me see, vacation? Wasn't vacation. Wait, I can't remember now. Yes, it was vacation. When it was time for me to come on vacation this time last June, I was already at the airport. And because I have a consistent relationship with Spirit, I said to God, you always show me birds to let me know I'm doing the right thing. I didn't get the birds this time, God. What was am I like what's happening, right? Am I losing my connection with you? As I'm traveling to vacation for a month in the Caribbean, 2 birds kept coming on the bed. I have been in this complex for 7 years. I have never seen brown doves. Pigeons, yes. Brown doves, never, right? These 2 brown doves would come sit on the bed and prevent the other birds, because by the way, birds don't get along. Birds of a feather flock together. They don't get along with each other, right? And so these 2 birds would be on the flatbed, and I'm doing my readings, and I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? In my mind, I'm thinking, birds are rude. How dare you come along and take over and eat up all the birdseed? This is just rude. This is how I'm talking to the birds, the brown doves. I go to travel and I go, God, you never showed me a sign that I'm doing the right thing. Am I doing the right thing? You always show me a bird. Oh my God. I get to the Caribbean, and what's all over the Caribbean? Brown doves. The same doves that landed on my flatbed. I was like, oh my God. God was talking to me the whole time. I cracked up laughing. I was like, there I go, not trusting God, because that's the human in me. And God was trying to talk to me the whole time. Too funny. The doves still, they're just all over the Caribbean. Birds are a big deal. You might see a bluebird, you might see a red cardinal, you might see just something totally different. You might even see a hummingbird. Melissa, who's one of my group members, and she has the Melissa Burton show, she was typing in group and she was really upset. She goes, I've never seen a hummingbird. Never. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. I see hummingbirds all the time, right? All she had to do was speak it out loud. Do you know a hummingbird found her? And she was so happy. It took a couple of weeks, but she had to say it. For the spirit guys that's hanging around her and you gotta speak it. For the spirit guys to go, hummingbirds, Melissa needs a hummingbird guy. Let's go get the hummingbird and bring her straight to Melissa. That's how it works. Dreams. Oh my God, the dreams. That's another wake up call. Many times we might have the wake up call during the spiritual hour because of a dream. Doesn't have to be a bad dream, but it's the wake up, and the dream has significance always. And you might wake up at 333 because of a dream. And you're like, oh my God, there was a dream. Don't worry about not remembering the dream. You can always, by habit, keep a pen and paper on your nightstand. I've noticed when I keep a pen and paper on my nightstand, I never get to use the pen and paper. All of a sudden, I don't dream, right? But just keep a pen and paper in case you want to write it down. One day, there was a dream. I woke up, I wrote it down verbatim. It was such an important dream. I got up, I wrote it down. You know, when I woke up in the morning, it was chicken scratch. There was nothing to understand on paper. It was written in a whole nother language. Nothing that I could decipher. And I couldn't remember the dream because I knew I had wrote it down. So when I went back to sleep, I was comfortable. I was confident. I had written it down. When I woke up, it was in a totally different language. It was chicken scratch. I was so mad. The thing that's important, though, is that your soul always remembers. I also want you to understand that there are high vibrational spirits around you. When you go to bed, you get high vibrational spirits that know that you're at your wake up point in your life. And they have your back. And they will do anything to keep your attention. So, what seems weird to you is your high vibrational spirits helping you to upgrade. Learn to trust. These beings can't hug you, right? But they're there and they're supporting you. And every once in a while, you could feel an indent on your bed. Every once in a while, you can feel someone touching your face. Those are your high vibrational vi- 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 vibrational beings. Now, for me personally, it took me a while to get used to high vibrational beings because it would make me sleepy. But you will learn to adjust. This is after the wake up call when these beings come through because you're opening up now. And it actually would make me sleepy when they showed up. So I would be like, the ringing of the ear is also spirit coming through the portal. So they babysit you, right? And so some beings leave and other beings come through. And sometimes you can hear the portal opening to let a spirit in or to let a spirit go. And it's a very fine ding, and then your ear almost loses sound. It like clogs up like in the airplane. That spirit coming through the portal. Next time you wake up in the middle of the night at the witching hour, remember the times 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. Sophia just mentioned. Well, whispers are different. I'm not talking about whispers just yet. Whispers are different. I'm talking about a light buzz in your ear, and then it feels like your ear is getting clogged and it shuts down. That's when the portals open to let the spirits come and go. All right? And no, Jay Edwards, you don't always remember your dream. And it's okay not to remember your dreams. If you want to remember your dream, you kind of have to tell spirit, right? You kind of have to say, hey, spirit, help me remember my dream. I'm going to bed, spirit. I'd like to start remembering my dreams. I personally don't always get to remember my dreams. If I dream something affected me in the night, like right now I'm watching Love Island, year 2018. So I keep dreaming about Love Island every night. That's not a dream. That's something that's affecting me. I can't watch scary movies before I go to bed because I'm dreaming about the scary movie. That's not the same thing. That's my highest self not letting myself sleep because I already knew the scary movie, watching it at 11 o'clock, was going to disturb my sleep throughout the whole night. That's not a dream. Last night was a real dream. I have a cousin that passed over, and we were hanging out. And it was so much fun to hang out with her. We were on the water. We kept trying to get somewhere, but we weren't quite getting there. And she was working somewhere. I don't remember all of it, but I just remember the feeling I had hanging out with my cousin. And that felt real to me. I was like, oh my God, Rose. Oh, so nice. It's so nice to be with you. I never dream about her, ever. So it was really nice to get that dream and have the internal love that I had for her. Like, to just hang out with my cousin. It was so cool. Um, but the next time you wake up during the spiritual hour, smile. Don't be frustrated. Excuse me, guys. I had to cough. I'm so sorry. Smile. Lay there in peace. Stop letting frustration invade your system so quickly. Don't get frustrated because you're like, I just went to sleep and I'm up already. I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock. Here I am up at 3:30. Try not to get so frustrated. The point is, you've already awakened at some point in your life 6 months ago. The waking hour is still meant for you. It's not their problem that you're not going to bed till 1 o'clock. They have a job to do. You have to be woken up. But the next time it happens, stop getting mad. Find some peace that you are upgrading. And smile when you see double numbers. And lay there and just say, what do you want me to know now. And whatever you do not expect to answer in that moment. Well, Tracy, what we would like for you to do, it doesn't work that way. You're gonna go back to sleep. And you might have a dream that's very significant to a concern you may have. The beings are there to help you and solve problems with you. And if you learn to practice that in the middle of the night and trust, you're going to have a problem in the middle of the day. And you're going to say, God, what's going on here? What am I missing? And God will speak to you immediately. And God will let you know. Don't trust that person. And you're going to learn to trust that voice because you've been practicing during the waking hour. By the way, just learn to lay there. I'm not asking you to go back to sleep because there's some stubbornness in being waking up. Well, I'm woke now, so I might as well just stay awake. Don't do it that way. Lay there a minute and see if Spirit has a message for you. And if that doesn't work, then sit up and read a book. You start reading a book, I promise you're going to go back to sleep. I don't know what it is about reading 3 o'clock in the morning. You're going to go back to sleep. Let me see what, I get the low rings. Yes, the low rings is Spirit. Nina, negative thoughts does not help your spiritual vibration, your spiritual vibrational self. No more putting yourself down. Your beings that are hanging around you are never shaking their heads. They don't have time for that. They're always there to protect you. They'll wait until you're ready for your morning wake up calls. My wake up time, says Sophia, is 333 or 555. Sophia also says, I speak of an animal or bird and out of nowhere they appear. Birds, rabbits. I think someone and they call or I see them. Same thing happens to me. One day I was in the middle of Compton. Compton is an urban goddamn city. There is no reason for anything weird to show up in Compton, right? But my sister lives in Compton. I'm coming down the street, and what's in front of me but the biggest, fattest jackrabbit? And I'm always like, and why would a rabbit be in the middle of Compton? Turns out, Compton is full of rabbits. I said to one of the girls in my sister's home, I was like, so a rabbit just jumped out in front of me? And like, oh girl, they've got rabbits all over Compton. Why? It doesn't make sense. It's an urban jungle. You never know with Spirit. They got jokes. I always noticed 327 for the last year. Oh, and my birthday's 327. Okay. That's one way of waking you up. If God needs to wake you up by way of your ego, which is what that is, Madison, then God will use what you like. So if you like your birthday, 327, God is going to be like, wake her up by her birthday. That's the only way we're going to get her. Now that you're seeing 327, you should be seeing other numbers. Look for it, Madison. This is just the first break in your spiritual awakening. Let me see. My last dream was crazy. My daughter has a tattoo on her arm of a woman with locks. Dreads is not the right word. That's what white people call them. We are locking the hair. Doesn't it sound better? Locking over dreads? How dare they? In the dream, the woman that was on her arm and she and I was dressed in an ancient African warrior outfit with spears. Well, oh, oh, um, yes, in the afternoon around 4. Um, Locks, yes, thank you. Locks, thank you. LOCS, thank you. Um, I was going to say something. Okay, so if that dream has any significance, well, Viola Davis has a movie coming out in September that one of my group mates, Marie, posted. Look it up. I forget the name of the movie now. Let me check. Let me tell you, the one person I love is Viola Davis. Well, the numbers don't really stop. I've never known for the numbers to really stop. Um, I think that when they slow down, it's because you're already in your next vibrational sphere, right? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? That the numbers is the first thing that registers, but the elevation of the next thing could be animals, could be signs and omens of other kinds. Oh, hold on. Okay. Sophia, Viola Davis has a movie coming out in September called The Woman King. I'll post a preview down below. You're going to love this movie. Oh, Madison knows it. The Woman King movie. Thank you, Madison. Absolutely. You're going to love the trailer. And your premonition reminded me of Viola Davis's movie. I was dressed in ancient African warriors' outfits with spears. Ciao. I would do anything to revisit an era where I was a female warrior. By the way, Tracy means warrior. So, when you all see me fighting in those videos, it's because it's in my blood. Period. Period. Um, the St. Tomians and the Crucian used to be ran by women. We ran these islands, period. And then Christopher Columbus came over with guns, and that was the end of all of that power. Ass white. All right. Let me see what else everybody's saying. Oh, sure, Nina. Well, I mean, still clean out your ears with peroxide and water. That's another thing. I kind of clean out my ears a lot, Nina. That might be a spiritual thing. I will get up in the middle of the night and I keep a small baggie in a drawer in my bathroom, and when I go to pee, my ears I will get out a Q-tip and rub my ears clean. Mm-hmm. I don't use peroxide anymore because I don't have to. But when I feel that thing going on in my ear, I just clean it out, throw it in a waste paper basket. It might be a whole spiritual thing. Because it just happens to me. It's so common with me. So maybe it's something that's happening for you too, because maybe that has something to do with spirituality, right? To be able to hear and see better. I don't know. The better to see you with. All right. And no, Jay Edwards, it's okay if you don't remember your dream. All right? I had a dream of a wolf and what looked like a leopard walking toward me. They were trying to get my kid. I quickly stepped in front of my kid, but when I looked at the wolf eyes, it was motherly. Interesting. So basically, the wolf wasn't going to attack you. When you have dreams like that, guys, look up totem. Wolf totem, leopard totem. Look it up. You'll see the correlation in dreams that you remember. Also, when you see weird things, yes, perfect timing for Viola's movie too. Very perfect because it's feminine power now. Um, Even if it's not in a dream, if you're out and you see a red cardinal, look it up. The bird is there giving you a message. Okay? Look up whatever it is, totem. You'll get a better meaning if you use the word totem behind something that you are all of a sudden sensitive to. Okay? I believe you, Madison. I believe you. I always dream of people I don't like. That may be trauma. That may not be a dream. I dream of them, see them the next day. I always thought I was prepared to not act a fool. Yeah, that could be prepping you, but it's also bad things are trauma intensified, right? So your conscious mind might be bringing that to the table in the form of a dream to protect you. All right. All right, everyone. I think we did a lot today, don't you think? So, again, Jay Edwards, just Google snakes as a totem and you will get your answers. No, Tay, I never heard of that. Um, Babies are technically born with the veil. Technically, I believe that most people are born with the veil of forgetfulness, it's called. However, the galactic babies and the pandemic babies are not being born with this veil. God took it away from them because the veil takes us too long to remember why we're here. So they don't carry the veil, which is why they act like a bunch of old little souls. All right? All right, Sophia. Oh my goodness. Can you please, right now, today, in this moment, apologize to your friend? Forgive yourself for that reaction, but apologize to her. It's not her fault. And the anger that you displayed is selfish because I'm pretty sure she didn't want to happen what happened to her. So, one, forgive yourself. Two, apologize to her. Oh, I believe you, Mama Mia. All right, she cited. All right. But Mama Mia, you're gifted too. Why are you not talking about yourself? You're very gifted. Can you see that? Sometimes butterflies appear out of nowhere, flutter around me. Yeah, because you're gifted. One day I was feeling down. Suddenly a butterfly almost lands on my face. It was so close. I could see the design on its wings. Oh, that is so beautiful. Hmm. I love that. I love butterflies. Right now, the butterflies that are showing up in the Caribbean, which I didn't look it up yet, are black butterflies with yellow designs at the tip of the wing. That's very common out here, but I haven't looked up what the name of the butterfly is or anything. But that is so beautiful. Butterflies are another wake up call, another sign, but it's in a form of elevation, right? Animals, butterflies, these are elevated signs. This goes beyond seeing the double numbers. All right? All right, everyone. I hope I made a difference in your life. I know somebody mentioned um, that they never heard it, the witching hour explained the way I explained it tonight. Oh, if you guys know how much I pray to be heard and to be understood, um, I believe that spirit takes over a lot, but I also invite that because I just want to make sure that I'm saying all the right things for everyone. So I hope I helped. All right, guys, any more questions? Great episode. Yes! Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, man, it makes me so happy. Ooh, happy, 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 happy. Ah, it's nice to hear the metaphysical perspective. It really is. She told me that I did a love spell on my man. She died before we could talk, and after her death, that's how I cussed her out in a dream. Oh, girl, Sophia, whatever's going on, forgive yourself, forgive your friend. You gotta find a peaceful place in all of this. This woman is dead now, so let's pull that energy back. Pull the energy way back. I Whatever's going on with your friend, she's not here anymore. All right, offer her kindness and forgive her for making a mistake like that. All right. And I'm serious. Do it right now. You're carrying something that's not meant for you. So let's release that energy and allow her to handle whatever mistake she made. But you cussing her out is that's not God. It's not your job. So forgive yourself, forgive her, and allow this all of this that's going on dissipate. It can't You can't carry this for the rest of your life. Spirit needs you elsewhere. All right. You're welcome, Sanji. It's nice to hear the metaphysical perspective, and thank you. Oh, Tanisha, I saw a butterfly today, but it was on the ground, and I stopped to see if it was stuck. Oh my God, you touched it. So I touched it to make sure it was okay, that it moved. I had a full conversation about its beauty. You know, Tanisha, you have no idea that the butterfly was waiting for you to touch it so that that spiritual ping can go from the butterfly to your finger and whoop, you're elevated. Ah, that is so much fun to have touched a butterfly. Not everybody gets that chance. So that means you two are very, very special and at a higher vibration. Wow. Okay, Sophia says, okay, Tracy, I did let it go. Thank you, sweetie. Hi, Pink Lily Phil. Yes, I love this channel so much. Knowledge. Thank you, Tay. Oh, I know. It's so sweet, Mama Mia. Give yourself permission to forgive. Oh, that's the key. Oh, yeah. Stay safe, Pink Lily Phil. I'm not a fan of heavy rain. Stay safe. Don't forget to put a prayer out there, meaning, God, let me get home safely. And this is a prayer from me. Please, God, let Pink Lily Phil wait out the rain and get home safely. Thank you, Father God. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. 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 All right, everyone. It is time for me to put my antennas down. And I love you all for listening. If you want a reading with me, you know the routine, TraceyBrownLive.com, or text me 213-458-7408. For right now, I am doing Zoom readings, and they're no extra charge. It just turns out that I started it and I kind of like it. So if you want a Zoom reading with me, that's the way I'm giving them right now. All right, guys? All right. Thank you for putting up with me. Let me see the last few comments. Thank you so much, Miss Dory, and everyone. I will listen to the replay. Good girl. Be safe, you all. Everyone have a great night. Rest well. Energy. Tracy Rick did a private reading referring to businesses. Do you do? Child, that's not the question. I do everything. I think one of my specialties is business, to be honest with you. I just gave someone a business name tonight in a Zoom reading. Man, she loved it. But it's not me, it's for her. Spirit gives it to me for her. And then I gave another business reading and I told her exactly what she could be doing. She loved it. Business is my jam. That's my jam. Good night, everyone, says Pink Little Phil, and everyone be safe. She is the best at everything when she reads. Thank you, Tanisha. With the pat, that's me patting my own back. But remember, guys, I only pat it because I've worked on the the spiritual hour trust factor. I worked on, I opened the door and there's a brown dove waiting for me. You know, this morning I opened up the door and the brown dove acknowledged me. It was walking away when I opened up the door. It was like, hey. I was like, oh my God, hey. It's weird. I think the way it looked at me, it was like, hey. Okay, hey. Oh, Tracy, that would be great for business. Yes. Oh, you mean the Zoom readings would be great for business? I like it. I avoided it for as long as I could, and it turns out I really enjoy it. It doesn't take any energy away from me. I was afraid it would take energy away from me, but it just doesn't. It just adds to it. It just sometimes God has to break your phone to elevate you. Because I'm stubborn, right? I'm a fixed sign. I'm not listening to God, right? I'm doing my way, God. Ah. And God is like, oh, child, break that goddamn phone. God don't get mad at me. He's just like, she is so annoying. Break her phone. You know, that's a running joke in my group, the Tracy Doolittle. It's a running joke. Let me tell you why it's a running joke. We're going to go, but let me tell you why. The last movie I watched was with Raven and Eddie Murphy, and it was Dr. Doolittle. I don't know if that was the correct name at the time. It was the black version. I watched that movie. I don't know how many years ago it was. And I said to God in that movie, I want to have experiences like that with animals. I didn't know it was happening. Before I knew it, I was having experiences with animals and birds and insects. And I was like, what's happening? I've seen 5 brown doves this week, 2 in pairs. They're most of the times they are in pairs. And 1 this morning. I love, what is it with the brown doves? What is that? I saw a frog looking at my front door on July 4th. It just stood there. So true. When I got to, I've seen this frog twice when I got here. So I, I went to go take out the garbage, and there was a frog on the sidewalk. But frogs also change colors, right? So it was kind of brownish this time on the sidewalk. And I kind of walked sideways because everything in the Caribbean is just new. So whatever spiritual stuff I was getting, I was more petrified than, oh, spirit, right? I walked around it threw my garbage out, came back the same way, and the frog disappeared, right? A month later, I'm sitting outside, the same damn frog. It was huge. How does a frog live? Huge. And the same damn frog walked underneath my chair and stood very close to me. And I took a picture of it and I posted it in the group. It's always good to have some place to post it or take your pictures to prove something to someone, because you feel like you need to prove to someone. There was this big fat frog. I caught its back. It's hilarious. Just hilarious. I have a business now. I'm trying to get off the ground, Tracy. Could use your help, and a Zoom business would be awesome. Girl, I'm here for you. A blue jay. Look up the totem for blue jay. Look up a blue jay as a totem. And look up frog pink lily Phil as a totem. So true. When children and animals is attracted to you, it's a sign of being a beautiful spiritual soul. Yes, that is what my mom told me. Yes, your mom was right. Your mom was right. Children know. Trust me. When a child is repulsed by someone, remove that child in that instance. It doesn't mean that the person is bad. It means that it sensed the spirit that has come through. So if you bring a child around someone and they just finished an argument with their loved ones, the child feels the energy. It's not that the person is bad. Remove that child. Do not make that child stay with that person. The child spirit knows much better than the human, because we forgot. Remove that child from that person's arms or close proximity. Just trust me on this. All right? And same thing with animals. All right? When the animal is drawn to you, it's because you're having an elevated experience, and the animals see you and your elevation. Oh, Sanji, just if Sanji, if you have IG, DM me, Tracey Brown Live. If you have IG, DM me, and then I'll send you my PO box. Actually, I could just post my PO box. Who am I kidding? POB P capital OB 22514. 22514. Why does that look right? Oh, wait, I have it right here. Wait. Ow! All right, what is it? Don't leave me. 224514. I knew something was wrong. 224514. It has to look like this. Christiansted, Virgin Islands, 00822. Let me just make sure now. 00822. 00822 fourth, oh yeah, dash 4514. I think. Yes, 4514. That's my P.O. box, everyone. Thank you, sweetie. That's my P.O. box. If anybody needs my P.O. box, P.O. Box 224514, Christiansted, VI for Virgin Islands, 00822 4514. Everything there is very important. Or else it'll wind up in Puerto Rico someplace. All right? Or St. Thomas. It's just so weird out here. All right, everyone. I've been trying to leave you for the past 10 minutes. I love you. And thank you. And I hope I helped. All right. Talk with you. Oh, no book club tomorrow. No book club. All right. Without my phone, I can't communicate with Melissa. So we're both just going to take the day off. Melissa's not doing the Melissa Burton show. I'm not doing a book club. We are taking a self-care day. I think that's what God needs me to do. I am doing readings. All right, just no book club. And the readings will be, hi Nova. Oh, how are you, sweetie? That's my grandbaby's name. Rest easy, I will. Thank you, Nova. Um, I am doing readings, but they will be on Zoom. And when I do the readings on Zoom, you do not have to show up on Zoom. You can keep your camera on lock. You ain't got on makeup. You want to keep your head wrap on? Do it. I'm going to be on Zoom showing my face, but you don't have to. All right, guys, I love you. Book your readings with me. Just text 213, look at the squiggly line, 458-7408. All right, guys, take it easy. Bye. Thank you, sweetie. Aw. Thank you, Sanjay. Everyone should take a day themselves. I am. I'm going to go to agriculture. It's a farm, and I'm going to pick out what type of organic fruit and vegetables that I could get. Everything's new out here, so I always go to agriculture. I get me some bush tea, child. I get that bush tea we talked about in the beginning of the segment. And then I pick up some organic fruits and vegetables. So I'm excited to go tomorrow. Bye, guys. Take it easy.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to